Hello, Kitten Triage Tuesday supporters. This is our second broadcast of August 1st. We are joined today at the Actmobile, the Act Van, with MaryJo, who is our Act Coordinator. MaryJo, why don't you introduce yourself and your intern?
Hi everyone, thanks for being here. I'm MaryJo. I have an intern with me, Gonzalo. He's with SummerWorks program. He's been helping me out in the field trapping cats and kittens. The first thing I wanted to show you was our fantastic kitten van. So we go out in the community with the meow, and we'll walk around so you can see the giant kitten graphic on the side. Everybody loves seeing the kitten van. We get waves, we get thumbs up. When we go out in the community, everybody is really happy to see us. They know that we're here to help.
Now tell us about the history of the ACT program. Like, we're on the van, it's the apartment cat team, but now we're calling it the Action Cat team.
So the program did start out, it started out in 2011 with some grants, and it was a stop and a start while grant money came and went. And then in 2013 they got the funding to do the whole program full time. And I saw the job posted when I was working at the zoo, and I said, that's the job for me. So I applied and got the job. We were going around to apartments and manufactured home parks, but we found that there was really a great need for helping people who lived in houses, people who had businesses. So we sort of changed it to the Action Cat team, just so folks would know that we're not just helping in apartments. We're here to help cats throughout the county. So one of the things with the program is the van, and I think it's one of the best parts of the program to be going out in the community in this van. They kind of modified the inside, so I'll show you that.
Show us the Actmobile.
So the inside, they just took out the seats and put in a board underneath and a rubber mat, and then we replaced the vinyl because it gets messed up. And then the traps and the cats can go in here, and it's just kind of wide open. I've got a bucket of supplies, the food, different supplies I might need. It's not too fancy. First aid kit, but which we haven't had to use yet.
That's really great.
And then what's cool about this is they put this divider in. So when we're in the front, if just in case there was an emergency and a cat was loose in here, we would be safe and the cat wouldn't get out. However, that hasn't happened yet. I came from the zoo, so I'm pretty good at dealing with these ferocious little tigers and lions. So that's the basics of the kitten van. Nothing too fancy except for our wonderful graphic. It's been a great vehicle. I've really enjoyed that. And we'll go in and kind of show you how the traps work and how we get the kittens for the Kitten Triage Program.
Now, you're telling us that the ACT program really, took off as a permanent program in 2013, about the same time as the Kitten Triage Program.
Exactly.
Tell us how those programs work together.
Exactly. So there was actually a third piece of the puzzle, which is our foster coordination as well. So Ann Potter was really the visionary behind getting all three programs started and going and working together. So it's critical that the kittens that come to the shelter have the health care that they need through the kitten trailer and through the kitten health program. Then they need to have the foster program, so they have houses to go to finish raising them and get them socialized and adopted out. The first piece, getting the kittens into the shelter, it's kind of a byproduct of going out and trapping adult feral cats. For the most part, a lot of times people can ignore adult feral cats that are wandering around their neighborhood, but if they walk out into their shed or in their window well or under their house and there's a litter of kittens, not the cat that they're feeding, it's not from any colony that they know about, that's when the ACT program gets involved. Folks call the shelter, the staff here at the shelter, the officers or client services refers them to me and vice versa, and that's when we spring into action and go out to save these kittens. So
that's
super
great.
Fun.
Well, it's super hot outside today, so we're going to go inside and we're going to kind of demonstrate how we catch the cats. And everybody remember to keep your cats safe at home, your pets safe at home. It's super hot. We've got links on our website and Facebook and Twitter and everywhere just to safeguard against heat stroke. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that for ourselves right now by going inside. So Take us inside, MaryJo.
All right. We're going to set up right now in Jay's office. It's a little space that we have available to demonstrate our trapping and what we do with kittens. So it's also air conditioned in there.
Yeah, you're not going to.
All right. So this is one of our traps. We ordered these traps online. The brand name is called True Catch. This trap is specially made for trapping feral cats for TNR, Trap-Neuter-Return. The size is just perfect for adult feral cats. And they're a little different from ones you might buy at your local feed store or whatnot. The green tape I've added here, I call this the front door. It has a latch that swings up and down, and then this door slides straight up and down, slider door. This is really handy for transferring them into another trap, because you can just cozy the two traps up like a choo-choo train and transfer the cat into another trap. Say, like today we trapped 2 cats in a trap, so we needed to separate them. Or if they really poop a lot, you need to get them into a clean trap. That's how you can do that. So if you look inside here, I've got a little bowl. There's a little space right here. This is where the food needs to get to, because this part of the trap, it's a little bit hard to see. Jay might need to get down here. This is the trap plate right here, and the trap plate connects to this chain, which connects to this bar. So the cat has to touch this trap plate in order for the trap to close. So the other end, I'll flip the trap around here. This is what I call the trapping end.
The business end.
The part that is in action when we're trapping. So I have it clipped open right now. This is my modification of a zip tie and a clip. So this bar from along the side has a bend in it right here, and that just pivots up like that. This door, this is the hardest part. You have these 2 rings, so both rings come all the way up. Then with your spare finger, you flip this door all the way open. It's got a little bar there, and you turn this little bend in the bar so that it's parallel to the ground, and then gently rest the door on that. So then the cat, whoa, it's set pretty light. So you can see how light they are set, so it doesn't hurt the cats at all. If you have the door like so, we can put food on this. These are just some plastic boards I got, which I call bait boards. So you can draw the cats in by putting a little bit of food on here, and then the jackpot food at the end. So then when they walk in and touch that plate, they close the door just like that. And then you have a mad cat in a trap. So one of the things that's super important is to cover the trap as quick as possible with a blanket. This is my little model kitty. So every cat's a little bit different, but once you get the trap covered, and we're usually on site when we're trapping, because we don't want the cats to stay in the traps. I never have clients trap overnight. We try to get them all feeding the cats in the mornings, and then we go out and set the traps, and we're in the van, and we can usually even are close enough that we can hear the trap close. We run out with our blanket, put the blanket on, and carry the cat back into the van. The ones that are really nervous, they might start jumping around in the trap, so we want to make sure we hold the trap with the handle and down at this end where it bumps out. You don't ever want to put your hand inside the trap. I'm not sure why they have a hole there. Kind of invites that experience. So that's kind of the basics of trapping. And when we have kittens, they can actually be too light to set off the trap when they're little. So we go kitten fishing, which is like a cartoon. We have a water bottle with a string
So it's like Wile E. Coyote. We've got our Acme bottle and our Acme string.
Exactly.
Trying to catch the Roadrunner.
Yeah, there's no brand name on this. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, county officials. So we can just put the door on the top of the bottle and then go hide behind a tree. A lot of times with kittens, they'll travel as a little group, and you want to get all of them at once, because once you get one, then you might scare them off. So this is a technique that officially is called selective trapping. But I also like to make sure that the folks are involved in the process. We don't want to leave kittens out there on the landscape unattended. So with the water bottle, you can go hide behind the tree or the car, and when your selected kitten comes in, so this is the kitten that's too light, he comes in to the trap, and he's not going to set it off. He's all the way down there, and he's too light. Uh-oh, he's playing around in there. So then you can pull the string, and you got your kitten. So that's pretty darn fun. So I brought a couple of big kittens that are, they were feral kittens that were brought into the shelter. Not act kittens, but they went home with one of our staff, and they are actually big enough to set the trap off. So we have Milo and Lola.
Milo and Lola. Here are the kittens.
And Lola.
While we're getting them out, Ann G says, "Hi, MaryJo. Do you know Ann?"
And hi, Ann. Ann's one of our kitten fisher people. She's gotten several kittens with the fishing technique for us. So let's see. Let's grab the food, and we'll bait it. You have is the little spoon up there too? Thank you. So one of the best things to get kittens with is human baby food. If you've been watching Triage Tuesdays, you've probably heard about human baby food. We've got a little chicken baby food here.
Rhonda N says, "Hi, MaryJo."
Hey, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda. Thank you so much for your support. Many of you were watching last week. Thanks to Rhonda's matching gift, we actually raised over $5,000 last Kitten Triage Tuesday. Save kittens in the program, which is a wonderful
Rhonda,
thing.
You're our hero.
Yep. We want to remind our viewers that this week we also have a matching donation from our volunteer, Sheila, who is Love to Foster. Any donation you make during this live broadcast will be doubled, thanks to Sheila's matching gift challenge as well. Katie says, "Our foster kittens are from ACT, and they are so happy to be house cats now."
Yay! I know. It's so rewarding to get these little kittens off the landscape and turn them into pets. I grew up loving cats and kittens, of course, and to be grown up and doing this job is just kind of amazing to me. Come on, guys. Come on, Milo and Lola.
We want to give everybody an update with the naming opportunities for Sheila's kittens. All of those kittens have been named now. The opportunity has been claimed. You can still name kittens in the program with a donation of at least $50 if you claim that perk.
Here comes the other one.
Well, they're pretty big. Look at these guys.
They're pretty big. They're going to be able to set the trap themselves. And one of them is adopted so far, and the other one is not. But they started out as really hissy, wild little kittens, and they went home with Ann Potter and all of her family and pets, and they're super tame now. They're going to get their surgery tomorrow, and then if they're not adopted by then, they'll be up for adoption. So we'll see if they like the baby food and can go in there to set off the trap.
You want some baby food, Kitty?
Want some baby food? Let's see if we can get number 2 to go in there. There we go. We got one already. So if we're out on the landscape with these guys, this one's like, well, now what am I doing?
Yeah.
We would take them out of the trap.
Now, a feral cat may be a little more frightened, but this guy didn't seem to mind so much.
Mostly he's noticing that he's stepped into the food.
I'm bothered.
Where's the trap divider? Oh, yeah, you want to grab that? So another secret of trapping and trapping kittens, any cat that you're trapping, this is the secret of the trade, is a thing called a trap divider. So this is a trap divider. It's made by the company that makes the trap, and specifically for dividing the trap. I have really short arms. I can't reach in and get the kitten out of the trap. So I can put the trap divider in and then open the trap. If it was a wild kitten, I'd have some gloves on and take the kitten out and then put him back in the carrier with his buddies. So that's how the whole thing works. These guys are being very cooperative little helpers for us today. Does anybody have any questions out there?
Well, Linda Silence says, hi, Mary Jo.
Linda. Linda's another volunteer who comes out and traps with me every week. So we've got all of our same people here.
Yep, if you have any questions for Mary Jo, please just write them in the comments. Send us some love when something interests you, and we will answer your questions about the Action Cat Team program, which conducts Trap-Neuter-Return in order to spay and neuter adult cats, and we also take kittens of feral cats, and we socialize them through the Kitten Triage Program, give them everything they need, and find them forever homes. So if you contribute during this broadcast, your donation is literally saving lives. You're supporting programs like the Action Cat Team, and also but primarily most of the medical needs that all of the kittens need when they first arrive. Yep. Rhonda says, how many kittens are you up to so far this season?
Oh my gosh, so I'm not really sure yet. We're changing over from multiple options to Shelter Buddy, so I'm a little bit behind on my tallies. The other thing, I probably won't have as many as last year because I'm sending out traps and water bottles with clients so that they can trap the kittens themselves and bring the kittens to the shelter themselves, so that I don't have to go everywhere that the kittens are at. So we've kind of stepped into the next level of empowering people to trap their own kittens out there. So that's kind of fun. Then they don't get an act number if they come to the front desk of the counter at the shelter. So what this does, which is really cool, is a lot of times the kittens will be the trigger for someone to get the rest of their colony into Trap-Neuter-Return. Folks who might have been hesitant about the process are overwhelmed with so many kittens and cats in their yard or their neighborhood. Then they see that we will help them with the Trap-Neuter-Return aspects. Last week when Rhonda was talking about the program, she talked about her incentive program being one that tries to get the people who are feeding the cats to do as much of the Trap-Neuter-Return program as possible. So I've kind of folded that in to our regular procedures depending on the person and their abilities to set the traps. If they have a place to keep the traps for a few hours once they've trapped the cats. But a lot of folks don't have garages or sheds or places inside their house that they want to keep a trap with a crazy animal in it. So the kittens are definitely the gateway for many wonderful things. A lot of times the neighbors that don't have anything to do with cats will find kittens in their shed or in their yard, and then we can kind of go around the neighborhood and find out who's feeding the cat or the adult cats from the colony. The other thing that's happened in this new day of social media is people are putting a lot of the cat things that are happening in their neighborhood up on a program called Nextdoor. So we've gotten a lot of communications between neighbors through Nextdoor, where folks who might be hesitant to actually go knock on their neighbor's door, they can put a post up, hey, there's a litter of kittens and a calico mama cat in my backyard. So does anybody know anything about that? So that's been a new thing this summer, is all of the Nextdoor connections for the cats and the kittens.
And Rhonda's asking if you can tell us some stories. She's asking specifically about the big hoarding case we had this spring. I'm not sure if we can talk about that, but what can you tell us?
I'm trying to think. That we have been involved in several hoarding cases. Each situation is a little bit different. So I should have had a list of my good stories that we could help with. But we might have a person who isn't really able to take very good care of their cats anymore. The officers get involved. there aren't a lot of hard and fast rules, so we can go into a situation, get the kittens off the site, and then start working with the folks to get all the adult cats spayed and neutered. Right now we have a really full shelter, so we don't normally take adult cats in for surrender from our program. Sometimes we can help get the adult cats rehomed as working cats through our working cat program, but that's much harder to do, and it really needs to involve the rest of the shelter. This little kitten has a little heart on its shoulders, I notice, and little markings. It's like a little heart right there on your little stripes. So cute. So why do we need to do Trap-Neuter-Return? I have my quiz, test your cat knowledge out there. So this is to kind of let people know why we need to spay and neuter the cats out there. So one is, how long is a female cat pregnant? You have the option of 45 days, 65 days, or 85 days.
Everybody chime in with your votes.
All right, so the answer is, it's on the up part there. I can't see it. 65 days. So it's about 2 months for a female cat to be pregnant and have her litter of kittens. That's fast. So the next question is, how many kittens are in an average litter? 1 to 2, 3 to 5, or 6 to 8? All right, so the clue, which sometimes kids get it, is how many kittens are in the picture. So the answer is 3 to 5 kittens are average for each litter.
Now we've got a question from Tammy who says, where did you find the kittens you're holding, and will they be available for adoption?
So,
these specific kittens right here, I'm assuming?
Yeah, these specific kittens came in as strays, so they are not act kittens. And one of them is for sure adopted, and one of them may not be adopted yet, and I can't remember which is which. I think the one there with the white nose is Lola, and the one over here with the darker nose is Milo, and I don't remember which is which. All right, and these kittens are about 2 months old, so they're right at the age to get spayed and neutered and be adopted. So how old are kittens when the mother normally would stop nursing them? Is it at 5 to 6 weeks old, 6 to 7 weeks old, or 8 to 9 weeks old? Anybody have any ideas about that out there? What do you think? What do you guys think?
When does the mother normally stop nursing a kitten?
All right, so the answer is 4 to 5 weeks old. And when kittens are born, they're born, most of you probably know, they're born with their eyes closed and not much fur. Their ears are folded down. They're completely dependent on the mother. They can't really walk around or do anything. So once you start seeing the kittens leave that nest, they're about 4 to 5 weeks old. And the mother will keep nursing them for a couple more weeks, but that's the best time for us to get feral kittens in, because they're starting to be curious about the world. They're a little bit shy and hissy, but they're not, they're real moldable. Their behavior is super moldable when they're about 4 to 5 weeks old.
Rachel says they have beautiful orange eyes. It may just be that my white balance on my camera is a little bit off. They actually have green eyes. I can see they look kind of orange in this live video, though.
Look at them. Yep. They're so cute.
So, Anne's also asking, how about the Cat Hotel? Tell us about the Cat Hotel.
Thank you, Anne. So the Cat Hotel is a facility that's in another county building. It's about 5 miles away from the shelter itself. We need to have a place for all the traps to be stored, a place for the van to park, and a place that's where we have the adult feral cats in the traps overnight. So the cats that come to us, for sure they have fleas, for sure they've probably got worms. They may also have upper respiratory infections. We've had a couple with ringworm or lice. So we kind of want to keep them separate from the population in the shelter so that none of their illnesses get spread to the rest of the shelter population. So the overnight at the cat hotel, they get room service and breakfast in bed. And that's where we keep them. So it's kind of a secret location, but we don't mean it to be secret.
I mean, it's like the Act Cave for the Act-mobile.
No.
Right, yeah.
The cat van. Yep.
Yep.
All right, so my quiz continues with my big science word here for you guys. Domestic cats are called super fecund. What does that mean? So, yep, we're just talking about superheroes.
What does super fecund mean?
Does it mean they have more kittens than wild cats? Does it mean they're really good at saving things? Or does it mean that females can have a litter of kittens that have more than one father?
Any guesses? This is a great video to show your kids later.
Yeah.
Too.
So super fecund, actually, when you see a litter of kittens and they have all different colors in them.
Lisa guesses option 3.
Option 3 is that they can have more than one father in the same litter of kittens.
Good job, Lisa.
So that's why you'll see a litter of kittens with all different colors. They have different dads, or a litter that has a Siamese cat and a calico cat and a black cat. That can mean there's more than one dad for that litter. So then our next question is, how many litters can a mother cat have each year? So remember, they're pregnant for about 2 months. Do they have 1 to 2 litters per year, 2 to 3 litters per year, or 5 to 6 litters per year?
Any guesses?
Any guesses
How
out
many
there?
litters can a mother cat have each year? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, or 5 to 6?
And the answer is, it sort of depends on the climate, where you live. Here in Oregon, we have a definite kitten season. So up further north, the northern part of the continent, the cats don't breed in the winter. So we don't have kittens in the winter here in Oregon. Kitten season runs from May until October or November. So the average cat here in Oregon can have 2 to 3 litters per year.
Good job, Lisa and Tammy. Good guesses. Gold stars for both of you.
In a place like Florida or Hawaii or California, where it's warm all year round, they can just have litter after litter after litter.
So it's kitten season.
All year round.
All year
Yeah.
round.
Now here's a question. He said, I want to go over there. I'm still feeling shy. How old is a kitten when it can start having kittens itself? So we've got 5 months, 8 months, or 11 months old. I get a lot of people who talk to me about their kittens, and these kittens are 6 months to 2 years old, and they're still calling them kittens. But they can really have their first litter of kittens.
Any guesses how old a kitten can be when it starts having kittens of its own? Lisa guesses 5 months.
That's exactly right.
Good job,
they can
Lisa.
have kittens when they're only 5 months old. So that's why when these kittens are about 2 months old, like this size right here, we get them spayed and neutered so that they don't even have a chance to get pregnant when they're still basically teenage kitty cats themselves. So if a pair of cats breeds for 10 years, how many kittens can they have? So we've got every 2 months a litter of 3 to 5 kittens. 2 or 3 times a year. So that's saying unlimited resources of food, and they're healthy so they don't have anything happen to them. Can that pair of kittens have 500 kittens? Pair of cats have 50, 100, or 150 kittens?
Over a period of 10 years, a pair of cats breed for 10 years. How many kittens can they have? 50, 100, or 150 over 10 years? Any guesses?
What did I say? 150.
150.
And that's not counting their kittens having kittens.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important that we do this Trap-Neuter-Return program, and we scoop the kittens up and get them not only not breeding anymore, but also get them into homes that they can be pets forever.
So if you're doing the math, it's not just the one kitten. It becomes an exponential growth of kittens having kittens having kittens. And that's why Trap-Neuter-Return
is so important.
Yeah. Sorry, I had another message pop up on my screen. So many
Jay,
social
you're
things.
talking, so what are you saying?
Yep. So, thank you, MaryJo, for conducting Trap-Neuter-Return in the community.
It's super fun. It's super rewarding. Every cat that we help, whether we're getting them spayed and neutered and returned healthier to their families and their colonies, we've really helped the neighborhood. We've helped the people. We've helped the cats. We've helped the birds in the neighborhood and have fewer cats hunting them. And then, of course, to get the kittens and get them socialized is super fun, super rewarding. They're super cute. I haven't taken any home yet. Look at Milo.
Yeah, it's super fun. So it's an important part of the Kitten Triage Program. The fact that we are going out in the community, we are, finding litters of kittens. We're saving them from porches. All the things that happen out there. Anne says, thank you for all of your hard work.
Thank you.
So Tammy says, since your program was in our area, we no longer see sick kittens. Thank you.
Yay, that's so great to
Thanks,
hear.
Tammy. That's good to know.
That's great.
We want to make sure that the kittens aren't sick or perishing out in the community. We want to take them in and give them all the care they need. And your donations are literally saving lives. Anything you donate to the Kitten Triage Program will go to, treat kittens that come in from our Trap-Neuter-Return program. And if you donate during this live broadcast, we've got about half an hour left. We will, it'll be matched. So basically your $50 becomes $100 thanks to a generous matching gift from our foster volunteer, Sheila, known as Love to Foster. We have the opportunity this morning to name her current litter of 6 kittens, and all of them were named with a special promotion of donating $100. If you donate at least $50, you can name a kitten in the program. But our staff and volunteers will keep a running list, and they'll apply them to the kittens that come in throughout the year.
One of my first sites that we went to where there were some kittens was actually at Oaks Park. And the kittens were under the roller skating rink. And we had to entice them up through a hole that went into like the janitor's closet to set the trap in the janitor's closet and get the kittens. So it was really before I was doing much with the water bottles, and that space didn't actually even allow a person to be in there to watch. So we've been at the roller skating rink at Oaks Park. We've been to Hayden Island. We've been to many apartments, of course. We've gotten kittens out of car engines. We've gotten kittens out of window wells. One week I had like 3 calls for kittens in window wells. That people were living in the houses and didn't know anything about the kittens, and they looked up their basement window and there's a litter of kittens there. So the neighborhood cat had come and had her kittens in the window well. We've gotten kittens out of all sorts of circumstances.
Now, one of our big cases from this last year was the shipyard. Can you tell us about that specific campaign and how that wrapped up?
So down at the South Waterfront, there are lots of high-rises. It's at the base of the tramway. So all the OHSU employees and patients and stuff, they've expanded down to the South Waterfront area. And there's high-rises going in, high-rise condos and stores. It's a whole community that's being built down there. And it used to be an area where they built ships and barges and did ship and barge repair. So the last barge just finished, was getting built, and of course there's cats out there, and there's people that feed cats. I've been to the shipyard on Swan Island as well. With cats and kittens. So the the Zidell company is changing from building barges to being land developers. And the cats that were out there, not only did they need to be trapped, neutered, and returned, but they actually needed to find new homes, because once the ships aren't being built anymore, the area is going to get developed. So we went out there and worked with the gal who was feeding the cats out there to get started on Trap-Neuter-Return. Of course, she had kittens that needed to come in. And then we put a plea out to try to find homes for these working cats that were out at Zidell. And through our newsletter and our Facebook, we were able to find somebody who had just bought a farm out in Boring, and she wanted some working cats. So we did take the working cats out there. We trapped them and got them spayed, neutered. They get all their vaccinations. They get flea meds and wormer meds. The adult cats get a little ear tip while they're under anesthesia, so you know that they've now been spayed or neutered, so you don't have to catch them up for that. And then we take them out to their new working cat homes. And it's really important that the new home keeps them confined for about 3 weeks. So they can be in a freestanding cage, they can be in a shed or a garage or a tack room or a stall. It's kind of good to have them in a smaller area to begin with, so that they're more secure, and you want to provide them with some beds and places to hide, and they have to get food, water, and a litter box. And if they're there for about 3 weeks, then they can start getting let out, so that they know that they're home, so that they know this is where they live now. So we were able to relocate, I think, about 8 cats off the Zidell shipyard area. So that was really cool. So they went from being city cats to being country cats.
That's great. So the working cat program is really kind of a way to place cats that may not have an interest in being in a home or being social with people, but it kind of gives them a way to fulfill their destiny, so to speak.
Yeah, a lot of people want them for rodent control. We've taken cats to horse barns. I had a guy who wanted some, actually maybe it was the Zidell cats that went to Coos Bay, because he was renovating a property that had a rodent problem. So he wanted those cats to, we've got somebody going now. Wanted those cats to help with rodent control without using a lot of harsh poisons and chemicals and stuff like that.
Now, Rhonda's asking, people don't pay an adoption fee for a working cat. Is that correct? What can you tell us?
At this time, the working cat do not have an adoption fee right now. And there are always more cats that need working cat homes than we have working cat homes. So hopefully we can start boosting that up as time goes on.
Yeah, another name for them is a barn cat, but we're just trying to drive home the idea that you don't have to have a barn to adopt a barn cat.
Yeah.
And so working cat is more apt for maybe industrial areas. Maybe you've got an auto repair shop or a carpentry shop where you need help with rodent control, and you can adopt a cat for free. And we really supervise every step of the process, from even providing an enclosure for them to live in and get accustomed to your space in the beginning, to giving all the training you need to take care of them and make sure that they have a successful transition. Now, MaryJo, do you have a need for volunteers? Tell us how you become a volunteer in your program.
So anybody who's watching or wants to help get involved with this, we'll be conducting some trainings coming up pretty soon, so that you could when people first start, they join me in the kitten van, going out from place to place and talking with folks and kind of seeing what we do when we're out there. And we ideally would love to have folks going out and trapping on their own with another volunteer. So if you're interested in helping us, we would really appreciate that. If you're already a volunteer with us, you just need to contact me. Or if you're not one of our new volunteers, then you need to go to an orientation session, which is on a Wednesday every month.
I believe it's the fourth Wednesday of every month.
Of every month
at 7 p.m. Yep.
At the shelter, and it lasts an hour or less in order to get signed up and start volunteering with us. So we always need help. This time of year is super busy because it is kitten season. I get calls every day for helping people with cats and especially kittens because they're everywhere right now.
Now, as many people can see that we actually have some of the meat baby food we've been telling you about. We use this for the Trap-Neuter-Return program as well. Now,
you're so snuggly.
Are there any other supplies that you specifically need for Trap-Neuter-Return, MaryJo?
Well, it's a pretty basic thing other than the traps, the water bottles, the trap dividers. I don't really need those out in the field that much. A little bowl for the food and the blankets. The blankets are pretty important. The other thing that we'll do once they're in the van is we have a little canister of the Feel Away, the calming spray that simulates their pheromone. So I'll spray that on the blankets to help calm them down, and it does seem to work quite well to calm them down. Kitten's doing something over there. Come on, Kitten. He wants to escape. Milo's trying to get out. It's kind of funny they're not that hungry, so.
They're well fed here at the shelter, we assure you.
So cute. What do you think? Want to get the tiger? Do you want to get that tiger? I should have brought some toys for these guys. Get the tiger. Get the tiger. Get that tiger. So we get our calls, we get our clients through a couple different ways. Sometimes people who live next door to people who have cats can call us because they want to keep the cats out of their yard and out of their garden. So I will get calls from neighbors, and we're very discreet. we don't turn people in if they are uncomfortable with their neighbors knowing who called about the cats. But we're also the people aren't in trouble when the Action Cat team comes to their house. They're not in trouble. We're just there to help and get the cats all healthy and no more babies out there. So I think Gonzalo might go home with a kitten today, huh?
Yeah, probably.
You're mine. You're my person. This is my lap.
They're so cute. Hello, Milo. So that's Lola.
Oh.
This one's Milo.
Lola and Milo. They're getting their surgery later this week, you said? And
I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and then at least one will be available for adoption at that point.
Yep, kittens don't last too long. They're very popular.
Yep, they're adopted almost as soon as they go up on the adoption floor, after they go through the Kitten Triage Program. Now, I repeat myself a lot in this program because we have some new viewers. We want you to know that your donation to the Kitten Triage Program is saving lives, like Milo and Lola here. When they first arrived at the shelter, they needed vaccines, they needed dewormers and flea treatments, and regular monitoring and feeding, and that's really what they should. And socializing. That's one of the most important things that our foster volunteers provide. And when you donate to the program, that's really what you're contributing to. You're saving lives by giving these kittens everything they need to be healthy and to be successful in a new forever home.
And they do have beautiful goldish brown eyes.
Goldish brown, yeah.
Yeah, they're not they're not green. That's for sure. Most kittens are born with blue eyes, and then they change to their permanent color when they're about 5 weeks old. So yeah, these cats have like green, kind of goldish brown eyes. Like maybe you'd call it hazel.
Pretty Hazel Eyes. We want to remind you that if you donate during these live broadcasts during the next 20 minutes, we've got a generous matching donor named Sheila, one of our foster volunteers, who will match your donation. So if you give $50, thanks to her generous matching gift, it'll become $100 to care for these kittens. Before this program started in 2013, which was around the same time as when the Action Cat Team program started, we could only save really 2/3 of the kittens in our care, and that was mainly due to a lack of resources when they needed help when they came in. Now we're able to save over 93.6%, 93.4?
Yeah, I think it's 0.4.
93.4% of the kittens in our care, thanks to the support of folks like you who are sustaining this program with your gifts.
There they go. There they go.
Are they pretty bonded?
They seem to be, don't they?
Yeah.
So Milo's trying to get Lola to wrestle. And she's like, but I was taking a nap.
And kittens really need company, and this is really the way they play. And we find that, as we mentioned before, kittens who have a companion, they learn how hard to bite or how soft to bite. Yeah. A lot of the single kittens we get, they don't necessarily know how hard they should be biting without causing pain.
Now, are you ready to play? Are you ready to play with our kitten fishing, our high-tech kitten fishing equipment, which is the water bottle and the string?
So we have so many words for them: stray cats, feral cats, free-roaming cats, community cats.
Outside cats.
If you have outside cats in your neighborhood that you don't think are fixed, that you don't think are spayed or neutered, MaryJo is the person you want to call or email.
Yes, or text.
Or text. Yep. So MaryJo is well connected with the community and really has her finger on the pulse of where the cats need help. You can reach her at act@multco.us, or what's your phone number, MaryJo?
503-260-84. 84. I forgot. Anybody know? Oh, here it is. It's right here on the trap.
There it is.
8438. 8438. Put on the spot there. And yes, Rhonda, these are the tags that you made.
Good job, Rhonda.
Rhonda made these wonderful tags when she was doing the incentive program. There's Lola.
Thank you to everybody for tuning in. We can't thank our community of supporters enough. We set a modest goal of raising $15,000 in this campaign, and we met that goal at the end of our last broadcast this morning. So really, we've raised over $15,300, and that's all going to go to save lives. We also want to stress that, it really takes about $50 to care for a kitten in the program, between all the staff time, the vaccinations, the medications, the feedings, the spay and neuter surgery, everything they need. And we have over 800 kittens come through the program in a year. And if you do that, the simple estimate math, that's going to be around $40,000 to sustain this program. So anything we raise over that $15,000 is also going to save lives and is also going to be essential and needed to sustain this program. We appreciate all of your help. If you've donated, if you're a volunteer, we ask that you share with your friends. Let people know about this program and why you support it. Show them these videos. We really want to be open and transparent with the whole process of how your donations are saving lives. We want to answer your questions and show you the inner workings of what's happening here at Multnomah County Animal Services. We also want to give you a stake in the program. So this year, if you make donations of certain levels, we're going to give you what we call perks. That means that if you give $50, you can name a kitten. If you give $100, we're going to give you the opportunity to name 2 kittens, and so on and so forth. Also, we're going to throw in an adoption discount if you make a donation of $50 or more. We just want to give you a stake to see how you're helping, to make you feel connected to the program, because you really are connected. We couldn't do this without you, without your donations, without the wonderful foster volunteers who were helping to socialize and care for these kittens. Rachel says, "Congrats, we all did it." Yeah, we're
so
pretty happy
exciting.
with it. We're really grateful to everybody who helped in this process. We've got about 10 minutes left if you have any questions for MaryJo, or if you want to know about the program or anything else.
You guys are way more into playing than eating right now, huh?
Rhonda says it takes a village. It certainly does.
It is a lot. Yep.
Everybody has an important role to play. You know, we had a volunteer breakfast a couple months ago, and we stressed the importance of saving lives by helping with laundry. You know, when you're doing laundry at the shelter or folding towels, you know, we go through so many towels, and we use them for so many things. Jackie says we have some amazing people in this community. Thank you so much, Jackie. So if you're just tuning in, Jackie is actually our staff member who coordinates the Kitten Triage Program, and we joined her usually in the mornings on Kitten Triage Tuesday.
Well, and Jackie is amazing.
Jackie is very
She is
amazing.
the kitten goddess.
This is our 4th Kitten Triage Tuesday that we've done so far. We'll continue Kitten Triage Tuesday through August 22nd, so I believe we've got about 3 more to go. So every Tuesday at around 11 and 2 p.m. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But you can tune in to see what's going on with the Kitten Triage Program, how your donations are saving lives. We'll answer your questions and show you different aspects of what it takes, what that village looks like. We visited multiple foster homes, and every one of them is a little different. Everybody does things a different way and has a different role to play. So there are so many ways that people are helping, that people are saving lives.
Milo, you're the jumper on her.
He's a character.
You're the one that's causing getting things going. Woo. He's so cute. It's got this little target on the side there. So you want to be careful with strings, even though I'm playing with strings. Strings can be not good for kittens to swallow and ingest. So real kitten toys are probably a little bit better, but I forgot to bring any. I thought these guys would be a lot more skittish and a lot less social. I wasn't sure which kittens I would get this morning or this afternoon to do the broadcast, to do our Facebook Live. I wasn't sure what kind of kittens I'd get. I wanted to show them going in the trap, and I wanted to show the kitten fishing. So what's kind of cool is we hope that if people have kittens around, that they can start trapping them themselves. We can loan out supplies and carriers and traps, so that we can start getting even more kittens in. And then, of course, once we catch the kittens, that's only the beginning. Because the kittens are kind of the leverage that we can use to get started doing the trapping of the adult cats. And it's always hard to get the whole colony, so there's usually one really smart female who's very elusive, so it can mean that we get more kittens later. But that way the folks already have my phone number, they're already used to the program. They tend to call me a lot quicker once we've been out to their place or in their neighborhood to try to get all those cats fixed. And we've had some colonies where it took about 2 years to finally get the last cat trapped. So when we go back to trap after we've started at a place, we have to take extra traps, so that, let's say there's 8 cats in the colony. We go the first time and get 5. And then the next time we might get 1 or 2 new ones. So we need to take enough traps so that the ones that have already been fixed can wait in the van or wait overnight at the hotel while we try to get the other cats. But a lot of times the disruption can also spook them so that you don't see them for a while. So it can go both ways. Just really depends on the situation. And if the cats have more than one feeder in the neighborhood, in order to get them in the traps, we do a couple different things. We can leave traps on the site, and I have the clips on them so that they just stay open, and we can start moving the food further and further into the trap so the cats get used to just walking in and out of the traps. We call that pre-baiting. And I've got these traps. I also have some big ones that have no doors on them. Just turn them into a feed station so that the cats walk in and out while they're eating. I think it really helps on a couple different levels. It helps the cats get used to eating in a confined space. So I think they're a little bit calmer once they are trapped. Also, it keeps the caregivers involved and keeps them kind of remembering that we're working on trapping the cats. So from the time I first visit clients, it may be 2, 3, 4 weeks before I can actually start trapping. So that way they're still part of the program, and they're still involved in the idea that, oh, we're going to be trapping these cats soon.
Now, for the folks who are doing TNR, when you trap a cat, then what happens? What do you do with it?
So we showed the van at the beginning of the broadcast. So they are locked in their trap, has a blanket on them. We'll take them back to the cat hotel. Using the trap dividers, we can put newspaper and food and water in the traps safely without having contact with the cats, because they're not friendly like this. And then they spend the night at the cat hotel. Then the next morning, we go back to the cat hotel at about 7 in the morning. We clean them using the trap dividers, so we'll take out the food, the water, the papers. We just give them enough food. They need to stop eating at about 10 o'clock the night before. And then they go back in the kitten van, drive over here to the shelter, unload them for their surgery, and then they have their surgery. It's a full day of surgery for our vet staff, our vet techs, and our veterinarians. So they have a whole process. There's a whole list of animals that get surgery in any given day. And they have to have, there's a required recovery time so that they're monitored by a veterinarian before they're released from their surgery. So we pick them up at about 4 o'clock. Some of my volunteers do the driving in the mornings or the driving in the afternoons, and take them back to the cat hotel, make sure they have food and water and that they're safely locked in their traps so we don't have any cats loose out in the cat hotel. No shenanigans in the cat hotel. And then the next day they're generally ready to go back to their colony.
And then when they're back in the colony, what generally happens? They usually have a caretaker, right? What does that involve?
All of the cats that we work with, all the colonies that we work with, we're required to have a caregiver, a long-term person who's feeding them and providing them with food, water, and shelter once every 24 hours. So we can't just go out and trap cats off the street and let them back out. That would be abandonment, and we'd have to turn ourselves into our own animal control officers. So a lot of our program is about having relationships with our caregivers and helping them to reduce the number of cats out there and to give them support with their cats. This year we got a donation of flea medication from Good Neighbor Vet, so I can give some flea medication to some of my clients if they can actually touch their cats. Oh, Milo, you're so cute. And just provide some ongoing support for their colony.
Now, if you want to become a foster volunteer, these kind of shenanigans can be, this can be your life.
And then how many of you out there are foster failures and wind up keeping your fosters?
Yep. I think we've established that it's really a foster victory.
A foster victory.
Yes. But it does kind of reduce the capacity to care for future kittens or other animals in need of care, and that's true. But sometimes there are the ones that you get attached to, and that's perfectly fine. We've told people before that if you want to adopt a kitten, probably the best way to do it is to become a foster volunteer. Foster kittens, then you get to know them, you get to socialize them, you get to pick your favorites, and you get to keep them. So that's one strategy if you want to adopt a kitten.
Look at Milo has cute stripes under his chin.
So thank you to everybody who are viewing today. It's 3 o'clock. We've been joining MaryJo of the Action Cat Team program here at Multnomah County Animal Services, which works in conjunction with the Kitten Triage Program. So as we say, if you've ever seen the meme of, the shaming of the dog and the cat, the dog is a sign that says, I eat socks, and the cat has a sign that says, I supply the socks. So MaryJo is the one who supplies all of our socks.
Thank you all for your support and for taking care of the cats and kittens in our community. It's a blast.
Yep. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in today, who donated to the program. Your support is literally saving lives. Thank you to our many wonderful foster volunteers who are such an important part of this program. And thank you, of course, to Sheila, Love to Foster, who thanks to her generous matching contribution, all the donations made during this broadcast and in the broadcast this morning will be doubled. We really appreciate your support and everything you're doing. So once again, this is Kitten Triage Tuesday, and this is Jay Levitri of Multnomah County Animal Services signing out.